morning, ladies and gentlemen, and you are watching Channel 11 broadcast. Today we have updates on the KKK scandal, the Sanko Vanzetti case, a new morality, the Prohibition Act, and the fundamentalist movement. But before we begin with those updates, we have Zook Crane on the immigration report.
Since the war, our motto has been Keep America American. President Harding has been working very hard to keep this policy in the U.S. In 1921, he passed the Emergency Quota Act, which limited immigration in the U.S. Henry Curran, the Commissioner of Ellis Island, said the hardest part about this was the separating of mothers from their children and husbands from their wives. Now our government is trying to pass the National Origin Act of 1924. This is tightening the Quota Act and is limiting 150,000 immigrants a year can enter the U.S. These acts reduce the available labor pool. Employers are in need of laborers for agricultural, mining, and railroad work. Mexican immigrants are crossing the border in record numbers to fill these positions. Today we have an interview with Marcia Encorez, a Mexican immigrant who came to the U.S. in search of these jobs. Hi Marcia, how are you doing today?
Hola, I'm doing fine, gracias.
I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about your experience coming to the U.S. for the first time.
Sure thing, let's get started.
When you came to the U.S., was it difficult to find a job or did you find it very easily?
Most of the higher paying jobs were filled, but it was very easy to find a labor job because the employers needed the workers really badly.
What kind of people did you work with?
I worked with mainly other Mexicans and a few Americans.
Do you think it was a good idea to offer immigrants these jobs?
It is a good idea because the jobs need done and it helps immigrants earn a living once they come to the U.S.
Thank you, Marcia. Now let's take it back to the desk with Sarah.
Thank you, Zook, for that lovely interview. Since the return of soldiers from World War I, tensions have been high on issues of culture and race, eventually leading into racial prejudice. Surveys show that many Americans see immigrants as a threat to stability and order. People have even considered to improve hereditary rates called eugenics. And the Sanko Vanzetti case raised the fear of this. Two anarchists, or people who oppose forms of government, named Nicholas Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, killed two employees and robbed $15,000 from the Slater and Morrill Shoe Company. They were found guilty and sentenced to death. On the KKK scandal, rumors are circulating that William J. Simmons, founder of the Ku Klux Klan, bribed entrepreneurs to initiate many Americans into the Klan. Millions are joining day by day. On a lighter note, let's send it over to Lily, who will be informing us on a new morality.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Recently, there is new talk going around about a new morality beginning to take over the nation. Traditions are beginning to fade, worrying some Americans. As seen around town, women are beginning to feel more compelled to join the workforce and hold a job to support their families. Also, there's been an outbreak of women going to college. These bold acts are contradicting the traditional values. Some of you may have seen flappers around, but if you're not sure you have, you can classify them with short hair or bobbed. Many are in their youth and can be seen smoking cigarettes, drinking liquor, which has recently been prohibited, or wearing clothes that are more revealing. Women like Margaret Mead are becoming famous for their social freedoms. Mead is now the first anthropologist who recently published a book called Coming of Age in Samoa. I'm just getting news that there have been flappers spotted in town. Let's take a look.
Cheers!
And now for a brief break in the action.
This swinging thing won't close.
Hard when your hands are cold, get a firm grip and pull! Get your zippers now!
And we're back with your Channel 11 broadcast. Recently, a group of people who believe our nation's values are being lost have emerged. These people, called fundamentalists, believe in the Bible and think it has no error. Many of you have heard of the trial done in Tennessee, where a man by the name of John T. Scopes is on trial for teaching about Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Evolution, for those of you unaware, is the belief that humans evolved from lower life forms. Scopes broke Tennessean law by teaching about evolution, which is against the Butler Act. Clarence Darrow is defending him. The results are yet to be announced, but fundamentalists are confident in their ability to set things back to how they've been in the past. Now to Cece, who is all you need to know about the Prohibition Act.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm currently standing outside a building which is believed to be a speakeasy, or a secret bar, that's being investigated by the police at the time. I'm going to try to get as much information as I can on this speakeasy for you today. The 18th Amendment prohibits the manufacture, consumption, and distribution of all alcohol. But around town, it's not holding back Americans from what used to be a freedom to many people. Many people, like the wealthier upper class and flappers, can be seen breaking this law. A matter of fact, there is someone now that looks like they could give us some more information on this situation. Miss, can you tell us your thoughts on the Prohibition Act?
Oh yes, I hate it. But I don't really care if it's a law or not. I'm still going to drink whatever and whatever I want.
As you can see, many Americans are upset with this act, and who knows, maybe it will be repealed. Now back to the booth with Lily and Alexis.
Thanks, Cece, and thank you for listening to Channel 11's broadcast.
And we hope you tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. for our next segment.
Oh wait, I need a hairbrush.
Now? Thank you very much, Sarah. Recently, I said Sarah wrong. Nita is now the first anthropologist who recently published a book called Coming of Age in Samoa. I'm just getting news that there have been some flappers spotted in town. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Zook, for that lovely interview.
Henry Curran.
Which is against Tennessean law because I messed that up.
Badly. What kind of other jobs?
Dang it!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.